Here's the thing, most parents get completely backwards. You think that the main problem is that your teen doesn't listen to you. You're frustrated because your words seem to just bounce off of your teen. But I'm going to tell you something that really transformed and changed everything for us in our blended family with 3 teenagers. Yeah, 3. The real problem is that teens don't feel heard in the first place. And here's the kicker. If you get this right, your relationship with your teen will transform within weeks, not months or years or like never. I know that sounds like a big claim, but stick with me because I'm going to walk you through exactly what we discover works and why it works so well. Most parents spend years trying to get their teen to listen when the real issue is sitting right in front of them. Your teen does not feel understood. They don't feel like actually they get a word what's going on in their world. So they shut down. Their ears close, and then you're left on the other side wondering why nothing seems to land. But here's what I learned, and this is what genuinely transformed our relationship and our family. Your teen will only truly listen to you once they feel understood first. And us being listened to is not a reward after our teen has listened to us. It's actually the opposite. You have to listen first. And you have to make them feel heard and understood. And then, almost like magic, their ears, their brains open up, and then you can tell them what you have to say. Now, understanding that principle is one thing, but implementing that in practice is another. And that's where the first game changer comes in. The first thing that made the biggest difference for us was choosing timing. Timing when to have the conversation, choosing the timing wisely. I know this sounds very simple, but it's absolutely crucial. When you try to have an important conversation with your teen, when their ears aren't actually open to listening, you are wasting your words. You're creating friction. You're pushing them farther away. Think about it. If your teen just got from school and they're exhausted, or if they're in the middle of something they care about, or if they're already frustrated about something else, this is not the time to have a conversation about their behavior, about their choices, about something you want to introduce. Their brain is not available. They're not in a receptive state. But here's what we started doing instead. We looked for moments where we could actually connect. Sometimes this was just a drive alone in the car, just the two of us. Sometimes it was when things were calm in the house and nobody was stressed. We even started scheduling conversations like Sundays. I know it sounds weird, but it actually works. We'd say something like, hey, I'd love to talk about something. When's a good time for you? And suddenly, your teen knows something's coming and they can prepare mentally, and they are then actually available to listen. When we stopped trying to force the conversation when we really wanted to have one in the wrong moment, we started creating the environment for real dialogue. And then everything changes. The teens' defensive mechanisms went down and they were more present. And that's when actually real communication can happen. So now that you understand why timing really matters, let's look at the second thing that changed everything for us. 2, ask questions instead of preaching. This one is huge. The main need of teenagers is autonomy. They want to have more say in their own lives and they don't like to be bossed around. And I think that's actually healthy because we're teaching them not just obedience but autonomy and responsibility. Here's where most parents get it wrong. We see our teens making choices we don't like and we immediately go into lecture mode, correction mode. We tell them what they should do, we explain why they're wrong, and we preach. And every word we say actually pushes them away because all they are hearing is that we don't trust them. We don't respect their ability to think for themselves. But what if we flipped the script? What if instead of telling them what to do, you ask them really good questions? I'm talking about questions like, what was going on for you at that time? Or tell me more about that. Or something simple like, when do you plan to do the dishes today? Instead of saying, do the dishes right now. Do you see the difference? One is command, the other is inviting them in the problem-solving process. When you ask questions, you're actually showing your teen that you trust their ability to think. You're giving them autonomy. You are treating them like someone whose opinion matters. And teenagers love that. They respond to it. They open up. They engage. They actually start thinking through their own choices instead of rebelling against us. We started doing this with our 3 teens, and it's changed everything. Instead of saying, you're spending too much time on screens, we'd ask, how much time do you think is healthy for you to be on your phone today? Or instead of saying, that's a very bad decision, we'd ask, what do you think might happen if you do that? Suddenly, they're not fighting, they're actually thinking, they're problem solving together with us. They're using their brain to come to conclusions, which means they're actually choosing their own conclusions and taking responsibility. They're not just complying because they have to. They're choosing a different path because they see why it makes sense. This shift alone changed how our teens responded to us. But it only works if you do the third thing, and this is the one that ties everything together. 3. Listen and validate what your teen is saying. This is the piece that makes everything work. When your teen feels heard and understood, and I want to be really clear here, this doesn't mean that you agree on everything with them, but they just feel understood. Something shifts in them. They open up. They become more willing to listen to you. And they become more willing to consider your perspective of what you have to say. And so many parents skip this step. They ask a question, their teen gives an answer, and they immediately goes into the answer's wrong. But that defeats the whole purpose. You've just shown your teen that you didn't actually want to hear what they have to say. You just wanted them to get to agree with you. So the teen shuts down again. And instead, when your teen shares something with you, your job is to reflect back what you've heard, to say something like, it sounds like you were feeling frustrated because, or I hear you, that makes sense. You're validating their experience. You're not necessarily saying that you agree with their choices, but you're just saying, I understand why you feel like that, and I get it. And that is a magic moment. That's a moment when your teen realizes that you actually care about understanding them, not just controlling them. And when that happens, the whole relationship starts to shift. And let me tell you what we've experienced in our blended family. When we chose to create good timing to have a conversation, like time alone, in the car, or a quiet moment at home, and when we truly listen to our teen and make them feel heard, they listen to us so much more than they ever did when we just jumped straight into telling them what we think they need to do. It's not even close. The difference is like night and day. Master these 3 steps, and I'm telling you, you will see your relationship with your teen transform into something that has way more respect and way more connection. And it happens much faster than you think. We're talking weeks, not months or years or never, and that's very powerful. So here's what I want you to do. First, subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep giving you content like this that actually works with your children and teens. And second, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which of the 3 steps do you find the most difficult. Which one comes the least natural to you? Choosing the right timing? Is it asking questions instead of telling? Or is it truly listening and validating even if you disagree? Let me know because I read every comment and I'd love to help you work through whichever one feels hardest. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.